Are we back, folks? We should be back now. Yes. There will always be times for speedruns and times for casual play. You won't want to burn out speedrunning by doing it all the time. And that is exactly why I like to mess it. I like to break it up a little bit, you know? I will always be speedrunning. I will always be doing that. But there are times where there are games that release that I just want to play it. And I would like to experience it with you lot as well, you know? Like, it's one of these moments. This is a game, as I said, this is a game that I am more than happy to share with all of you because I've played this game and I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. And now, 10 years later, for some reason, by some miracle, the game got a version upgrade. And now I get to share it with you all. Because I played this game before I even started streaming. Before streaming was a thing, you know? It's one of those things. But we're going to go through. And Jack of Barbs, thank you for the loving the UKSG run. It was all good. And I will continue to do more. So we're going to go through. Here we go. Are we ready for side B? Time to go. Also, because it's story, I read. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke steamed from huts as villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with a pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vane slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vane could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo! Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seemingly indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong. Be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt. Oh, look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods and they chose to ignore her, as Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak! Chanted the children. Freak! 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 Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scare her before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backwards and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ha! Look at the fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her direction to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it. As words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Course not! Don't be an ass! Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without seeing one, and yet her grandma had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled upon them while I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath admiring the way it felt between her fingers. "Didn't quite turn out right," said her grandmother as she squinted at it. "These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you." Kiney blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty?" "Course you are. What a fool thing to say." "Thank you, Grandma." Her grandmother smiled. "We're gonna be fine, you and me," she said. "Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine." Kiney took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kiney gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kiney stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. "I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world." Kiney let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taking away on the breeze. Next chapter, Kiney's Dreams, Daily Life. In the distance, Kiney heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. "Stupid piece of shit axe." Kiney's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood, and words would make the most hardened sailor blush. "Grandma!" called Kiney. "That you, Kiney?" yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. "Don't get too close, or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake." She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kiney close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water, or lunch, or, a new axe or something." The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, and smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering waters was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kiney knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kiney did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kiney knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kiney moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter. And the rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kiney enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kiney turned her attention to the task at hand. She'd never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kiney swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Crap. Suddenly, she understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small, pink hands. This is tough. My logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kiney redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you... Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kiney dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kiney steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt beside her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kiney didn't notice. Grandma? Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kiney away. Stop that! Just stop, she cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kiney desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kiney was ending, sooner than either of them had feared. The positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kiney came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kiney gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kiney strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kiney moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kiney finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kiney took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as slowly she made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kiney's presence. Hey lady, said Kiney with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this This thing, speak to me, they seemed to say. But Kaini saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaini repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaini cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. I mean, what are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaini happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Ha! Barked Demo. That old bitch finally kneel over. Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eye grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaini under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared for her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaini a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall, behind the counter, rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaini turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad. They seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead for a long time now. Kaini didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaini and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left I wish to draw. Kaini took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Callie, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Callie? Thought Kaini suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother's an old friend of mine, he said as Kaini scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she'd like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaini murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless. And with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she'd been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. "Back already, are you?" asked her grandmother with a yawn. "Come here, let me have a look at you." Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. "Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble?" "It was kind of fun," said Kaine with a small smile. "No, seriously, it was." "Fun, eh?" asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. "Uh-huh, so anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know." As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. "A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone." "But Grandma, it'll make you live forever." "Horseshit," said her grandma, throwing back the sheet from her bed. "Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those cranes away and help with dinner." But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house, as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the cranes, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. "It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all." "I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these cranes would, make drawing easy or something." The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. "Let me be the judge of that," she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It could have also been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time and slowly wheezed out a laugh. "Oh, Kaine," she said between laughter, "you truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush. I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always." True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh," said the old woman. "I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud." She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness." It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory. A perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kaine's dreams, separation. Kaini listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. "Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug." The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. "It's no bug, you fool. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs?" "Yeah, well, it looks like a bug," said Kaini. "And I think it's burnt or something, because it smells terrible." With that, Kaini held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. "Oh, yeah, that's terrible, all right." "Why, you little brat," laughed the old woman. "Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact." 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaini's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaini could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaini started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaini lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned belly rolling through her belly. "Where are you going today?" asked Grandma suddenly. Kaini looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. "Well, I was going to check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow." "Flagstones? What in the hell for?" Kaini stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept her around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. "Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection." The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. "God damn it, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway." "I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday." The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. "Well, shoot. I don't know why you'd have to do it today. We can worry about it some other..." "Grandma, no! If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that." A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. "Yes," she said after a bit. "Yes, of course, you're right. I'm sorry, Kaini. Lately it seems my mind is..." She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaini thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. "You're gonna be a true woman soon," Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. "So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls, and more talk about how beautiful you've become." Annoyed, Kaini reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. "You're a beautiful thing," said the old woman, "and there ain't any other like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you." "Okay, Grandma. That's enough goddamn compliments for one day." "Such a mouth on you! Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder." "I'll teach you to sass me, girl. yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kiney by the ear, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. "Grandma!" yelled Kiney in a quaking voice. "Grandma, stop it! What the hell?" The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it were the first time she'd ever seen them. I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just..." Kiney thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. "Listen," she began. "Maybe I should stay home after all." "No! I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you." Kiney rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kiney could feel the old woman's eyes watching as she moved down the path. "Don't turn around. Don't turn around," she told herself. But in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. Gods, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kiney worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kiney pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kiney suddenly felt stomach knot in on itself. Oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. "Grandma? Grandma!" Kiney ran, faster than she'd ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kiney's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt. Her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws spouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kiney, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kiney responded with a scream of her own. "All right, you bastard," she thought. Her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you or me! Let's go!" The shade eyed Kiney with bemused interest, and then began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced towards the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Grandma! At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, thought Kaine. Alive! Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard towards the flaming wreckage of the house. But before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she's trying to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped towards the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to the earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma? Hold on. Just a little longer. Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seemingly to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flickered out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastard! Laughing at us? She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard! Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backwards, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble towards the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandma and plunged the weapon deep. Give her back, she screamed. Give her back to me! It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air towards the young girl that was latched onto its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine? Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands, reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kaine, you gotta run. You can't. Best this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on. We have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no! No! I said run, god damn it! You have to You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible, putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after another, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth, dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept towards its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose, as if controlled by a mad puppeteer. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles. Her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backwards, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a mad woman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shoot Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. Think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames. All of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. 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 Kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer.
The beast approaches. Oh, I know.
And we're back into the fighting scene. So did you all enjoy the story?
How did it even survive these past 5 years?
Worm friend,
Not gonna let this happen again.
you all now have a little bit more insight to Kaine and who she is and how she was brought up.
Strike it down.
It is exactly where you left off last stream. Hey Amber, I'm definitely having fun. I don't know how much you've been lurking for, but hopefully you enjoyed the narration. Hey Bollister. I'll speak to you all in a moment. Oh, Liam O'Brien's voice acting in this is phenomenal. I love it. I love voice. I love all the voice acting in this. Jeffy, that's for you because I know you're in here. I wonder if I came through the mic. I'll do it again. That doesn't really come through the mic, but you get it. Ah, fair enough, Amber. Makes sense. Oh, we got more. All right. So before we start this, we will continue on here. You'll get, I believe you'll get it eventually. Like, it took me a couple of tries to get mine before I sent it in as well. But yeah, hello everybody that came in during the narration there. For those of you not aware, we are now into the second story, into B-side, or ending B, as it is known in the game here. We start at the midpoint of the game. We just defeated a giant shade that came out of the door that was being blocked by a petrified Kaine. However, Emil there managed to merge with his sister to control his magical abilities, because he's the one that petrified her and is also the one who was able to free her. So the way ending B opens here is that it introduces us to Kaine and her story and how she became to be and how she is the person that she is today. So you now know that Kaine is this foul-mouthed girl because of her grandmother. She was raised by her grandmother after her parents were killed, and she spent the rest of her days being ridiculed and belittled for the type of person that she is by the villagers in the area, and was brought up by her grandmother to basically take no mind of what anybody else thinks of her and to grow up to be the fine woman that she is today. Unfortunately, though, as you just heard, her grandmother was mercilessly killed and tormented at the hands of a shade. That shade we've already seen before in ending A, and we may see again in this one. And yeah, so we're about to go into another section here as well. But you got one where you were happy with your inflection and you didn't flub your words, but your voice is stupidly distorted because your mic needs to be heard over the really loud keyboard noises of the runner. Don't worry about that, Amber. It does say, one important thing to remember, Amber, is they do say they're not basing you on technical ability, so don't worry about that. They know you're not going to be typing. Don't get mad over that, right? So keep a hold of that one that you're happy with. Don't delete it and maybe send that one in as well. But that's not what they're doing. But hello everybody that came in. So we got we had Dogzia come in there. We had James Tiberius come in. Hello. We had Lifessa. Who else did we have come in? Basically, hello to everybody that came in during narration there. NieR likes to do this thing where it does narration. It does the narration thing. I saw some of you mention there, why aren't they doing that cutscene style? It's because this was the unique style of the game that they done 10 years ago. Nobody had ever done this style of game 10 years ago where they switch genres all the time. Like, you've got a hack and slash, you've got a top-down shooter, you've got 3D gameplay, you've got 2D gameplay, you've got visual novel gameplay, basically, choose your own adventure. You've got others as well that I'm not going to say yet. And yeah, we did also meet the Marble Challenge. So thank you very much, everybody, for the 2 million points to raise for marbles there. We will get that sorted probably in May because I have a lot of busy things to come. But if I can sneak in a marble stream, then we will. And yeah, although I will say that you all cheated with marbles. I had to stop and restart the stream a few times, so you all got to redo it last time. But yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and I hope you've all enjoyed the narration as well. I don't normally do narration, but I don't know why I quite enjoy this. I quite enjoy reading out the story in this. I don't quite get all the words right. You may hear me flub some words here and there. Sometimes I try to just skip over it if I can in my mind and just continue the flow. And sometimes I may not read it correctly, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun doing it too, you know. I see code there being like Argick audiobooks when. If somebody wants my voice for audiobooks and is willing to pay me for it, I will happily do it. I will happily do it. But let's get back into the gameplay here. Yes, I know, I've been swearing. That's because Kanye swears, don't worry about it. So here we go, we're going back in. Goodbye me, and I'll see you through. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off towards the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gount of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yep, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you'd rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No! Don't hurt that picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha. I look like that? Oh God. Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kiney laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kiney wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish? Like a prayer or something? Like somebody wishing somebody wouldn't come in and demand the streamer play another game. Wait your goddamn turn, damn it! Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Ka ha ha ha! Kiney finally resorted to shouting at the voice within her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Wah! Oh God, you are the best! Kiney glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up towards the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kiney tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body! Come on! Give it to me! Give it to me! I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused, as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood, just like before. In response, Kiney shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kiney was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body, and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kiney's side. As she watched it, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she'd regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, Sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me here are gonna be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop! Gotta stop! Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. It's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry! Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and... Shut up! Shut up and get the hell out of my body! Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crushing on bone filled the air. Ha 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 ha! Stupid idiot girl! You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed! You and me! We got what you might call a timeshare agreement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. Plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine. Now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap him up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What? You think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honeypants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the body part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, sunshine! We're gonna have so much fun! So listen, my name's Tyran, and if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now, get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour, and I like rotten and sour. Kaini found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade, and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyran. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of shit, you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaini herself. Kaini waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I'm not a shade. I am Kaini. Repeating this mantra in her head, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it'd been through hell and back, the garland's petals were still as bright as ever. Kaini started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to heart, Kaini fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
Oh, hey. Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time.
You think? And now you know the story of Kaine and how she came to be in the current state that she's in. She is indeed possessed by a shade, with a deal that basically says the moment you die and the moment you stop killing is the moment the shade takes over. And we've seen that happen. And that is also why part of her is covered up.
Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a
Lunar tear?
lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
In the battle with that statue thingy, yeah? What do you mean battle with that statue
Oh, it's
thingy?
Great. Thank you.
I've also...
Waking from her long, petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious.
Yes, no, you're exactly right, Kedzie. That's exactly that moment. Yep. It did not explain it, Shannon. No, it did not. You may get that later. You may get that later. But I've also just realized that I've kind of been sitting reading now for about an hour and 20 minutes there. Damn, time goes by fast when you get into reading that. I didn't expect that to do that as much as that, you know? Woof! I really didn't expect that.
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it.
Yes, it is.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
We can sleep outside.
No!
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
Apparently so.
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
And now we know what she means when she says she's used to sleeping outside. She's done so ever since she stayed with her grandma.
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about that until just now.
And neither did we.
Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
Now, for those of you wondering, we have restarted the game
I didn't get much
just
sleep that night.
at the point after we freed Kaine. Basically,
For the first
just
time in my
after
life, I
the
hated Devila.
time skip.
For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself. I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that?
Campfires are weird, aren't they? I feel like I could stare at the flames forever.
Well, don't get all googly-eyed and catch your cold.
I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
So we all know what's going on, and for those of you that are either A, just joining us, or B, are new to this, we are about to enter into the exact same stuff that we already did before. And this time, well, you'll see.
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving every moment of this. I'm glad people are here to join me for this, because I love this. I love every one of this.
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
Ah, yes. I've not
heard
done
you
this
speak
one
much
before.
about your mother.
Yes, we do. So, Cheninen, Emil's mansion is built atop a weapons laboratory. And what happens there is that Emil and 6 other children were experimented upon to be trying to turn into weaponry, turn into weapons. Number 6 and number 7, Emil is number 7, and number 6, Emil's sister, were the 2 that were successful. Emil was the backup plan. Number 6, however, was a complete success, and she was locked up in the basement in the weapons laboratory. We go down there with Emil, and Emil is eaten, literally. And then we manage to defeat number 6 and save Emil, but he is in the process transformed into the form we see now. And now, however, he has full control over his magic. He no longer just petrifies everybody randomly. He now has full control over his magic and also has his sister's power, dubbed the ultimate weapon. Am I going to put this full playthrough on YouTube? I don't know, Chef Mayhem, because full playthroughs like this usually don't do well, viewer-wise. But I might put it up there for posterity, and we'll see what happens. But it generally doesn't tend to do too well. Oh, that's not a helmet. That's his head.
She got the black scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here. Take a look.
Here we go. This is new stuff. This is how you get your new outfits, actually. I've never done this before. Highlight it as a VOD here on Twitch. At least I could do that. I do have my local recording, so it's fine.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. It's a door. I might do that, actually. I might put that
Why
one.
are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now. There's the door.
Right. Let's go.
We're Papa NieR! It's Papa NieR! What the heck? Yo! This is the protagonist from Gestalt! It's Papa NieR! What up? Nice! Oh, that is so cool! Oh! We are reading Mother's Diary, and apparently we are Papa NieR. So this is the protagonist from the Western version of the game. And yeah, as we... Nevezard, this NieR is a version remake of the copy that's up there that you can see in the corner. It's a copy of that one. The Asian countries got a different version compared to countries in the West. We got Gestalt with Papa NieR. They got Replicant with Brother NieR. And now we got both. Oh ho ho! Yo, Papa NieR, what is this? I did not expect this. This is new. This is the world. This is the world of the recycled version. Created to what? Okay. We got bats. Where'd the music come from? This is so different. I got shades down here. All right. Oh, it's a remix! It's a remix! You're exactly right about that, Nifty. They thought that for Western audiences, it would be better if we had an older protagonist saving his daughter rather than a younger protagonist trying to save his sister. This is a remix of Emil's theme. So am I just like looping? I have no idea what's going on right now other than I'm fighting inside my mother's diary. And if that doesn't make sense, welcome to NieR. Oh, I just died. Oh, the little ones all came behind me and kicked my butt. That's not good. Saving. Some data saved. So do we game over? Or do we just get kicked out the diary? Ooh. No, you're all good, Nifty. You're all good. It's a question that gets asked a lot. Don't worry about it. You are totally A-okay. Oh, I can go back in the diary?
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
That's cool as heck!
Yeah.
I want to go in there. The world of the recycled vessel. What? Recycled vessel. Of course it'll be Papa NieR because he's not used anymore. Automata is the next part. Yeah, well, it is and it isn't. Automata is thousands of years in the future. So yes, you are right. All right, let's try this again and actually win. Created to avoid the destruction of all. Are you trying to tell me this is actually from the old game? I said don't worry about asking about it, Nifty. Most people do, and you're fine. What do I want to use spell-wise, actually? I don't want to use Dark Wall. I want to use Whirlwind, I think. I want to have Spinny, but if I'm going to use Whirlwind, I want Whirlwind to actually have things on it. Whirlwind. I'm going to give you strong attacks. There you go. Armor break. Really? They don't have armor. Oh, whatever. And then I'm going to use some of my other weapons as well. I don't know which my strongest weapon actually is out of all mine. So right now it's Dragon Lance. So Dragon Lance equipped. I got Beast Curse from somewhere apparently. And then in the one-handed sword category, it's Ancient Overlord by the looks of things. Yes, it is. Okay, Ancient Overlord. So if I come back into weapons and I go to Ancient Overlord and I do that. Yep. And I find the other one. Which was I was going for? It was Dragon Lance, right? And do the same. Now we can have some fun playing with some of the other weapons for a bit. Oh, hey! I got a giant spear. This one is literally a lance. Holy crap. I'm going to summon just giant spinny blades as well. Ow. Stab! What? Oh, you're all fighting me something fierce right now. There we go. That's my counter I'm looking for. Ow! These are actually strong little blighters. Do I have to play my other game? Do you want to play? Do you know what I am? I'm going to play my favorite game. It's time to play Skewers on a Stick. Give me Execution. Time to play Skewers on a Stick. Skewer! You got up from that? Wow. Skewer! Done. I can't hit you with that. Skewer? No. Stab it. Alright, we got more coming down. I'm just going to charge my spears on a stick. Hello, folks. Spears on a stick. Thank you. Lovely. Ow. Nice. Yeah, you're not hitting me with that. I don't care. Nice animation there, game. Oh, you got up. There we go. Ooh. I need to get a few of you on it, but you're all being very good at getting out of my way. Taking the left down would be too easy. Wait for you to fall down, get some of you. See, I don't like the fact that the spear's not very good at actually getting somebody once they're down. You missed. I'm gonna switch to sword in a minute for some funsies. Really? None of you were available there? Okay, sword time. Ancient Overlord. It looks like Nightmare from Soul Calibur. Because it may have. Also, I'm playing on hard mode, Polistar. Enemies are very spongy in this game when you're on hard mode. Oh, they got me around there. Yeah, enemies do more damage and have more health in hard mode, because obviously it's hard mode. Owie. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. We good? I think we're good. Okay, let's move. Ah, we got magical ones this time, do we? Well, if you're all just going to attack me with magic, I definitely want to switch to Dark Wall now. Because now every single one of your abilities can't do anything to me. Oh, we got more. We got a hybrid now. Oh. Nice. I just put you all up in the air. Lel, get wrecked. Ow. Oh, I was not close enough that time. And you got rid of that fairly quickly this time, folks. Nice. I think I just yeeted you, actually. Nice. How many floors does this have? Oh, we're near the bottom. Yeah, we're near the bottom. Probably one more set of enemies here. I ran out of magic. That's my fault. Owie. And you're on the air. Well, I'm going down the hole apparently. Bye. Okay, I'm alive down the hole. Oh, right. Okay, it's because you're here. Okay, what song are you changing into now? It's like a rock remix of something. Dude, I'm kind of getting like Otherworld vibes from Final Fantasy X right now. Oh, you got me with that. That's fine. Oh, that was a pummel. I'm going to just use that. I'm then going to go down and do this because that really is just thingy, you know? It's a heavy metal remix of the boss theme. No, dodge out of that. Oh, thank you. You can do that when you've got your shield on. I knew what I was planning. That's a chunky amount of damage if you get the full combo off. That is actually a nice amount of damage. Stubby, stubby, stubby. If you're a big old enemy and you're gonna die, I'm probably gonna take you out with this then. There we go. Nice. Obtain medicinal herb ×3. Thank you. I used like 9 of them, but don't worry about it. I asked Evola if hooch tastes good. Oh no, why? The Bragg Scroll, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. What? We've got more? Okay. This is longer than I thought it would be. And we've got a remix of the Song of the Ancients. And we've got weird color happening. This is amazing. Oh, this is legendary. I'm loving this. Somebody basically in the NieR department went, why don't we give you like a Bloody Palace style part to play? Sure. I'll play this. I don't know what this is. This is my diary, apparently. I'm killing shades. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the visuals are very different from the usual stuff. Yeah, I'm playing his dad right now, Volline. I'm playing as Papa NieR. I didn't think I'd want a disco remix of Song of the Ancients, but here we are. Come on, hit me. Hit me. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. God, you suck. Eat it. Yeah, it's all one color for me as well, basically. Well, almost. But I can see, like, what's going on for me. God, that's such a ghost technique to do. Really? Coming from behind, huh? That's cheeky. No. You dead? Yep, we got more. Yep. Ow. Nice. Oh, double, you got me. Okay, that's fine. No, it is very, as Roy Meadow says, it's like inverted color blindness there. Not color blindness, sorry, inverted palette. Which makes it hard for people with color blindness to see. Ow! It's a mix of gray and yellow with the red for my spells, or like very luminescent pink. You're going down, man. I'm going to take you there. Told you. And the one behind you, don't think you're getting away from it either. God, yes. What do we got now? We got the magic users? Yeah, we do. Now wait till I charge my shield up a little bit. God, when I started ending B today, this is not what I'd anticipated. I love this. This is brand new, by the way. Mother's Diary was not a thing in the original game. As long as I have a shield out, you can't get me. It is very trippy, yeah. There was one beside me. Okay, we're gonna get a boss soon, but what boss is it gonna be this time? Oh, is that it? Obtain 3 medicinal herbs. Okay. Do we have more, or... Soldiers of Saul calling forth white death. They are legion. Those who plunged into something. Oh, in the library. Okay. And that's a no for them finishing, by the way. Oh. No, combat's the exact same as Papa. I'm just running them through right now, and I love it. If I find an enemy, run it through. Remix of Snow in Summer. Ow. That was bad timing for my shield to run out. Lovely. Shield's about to run out again. Oh, sorry, Shadowlord's theme. Yeah, no Snow in Summer. My apologies, you're right. It's the Shadowlord's theme. It's the Shadowlord himself. It's the Shadowlord fight. Right, we good? No. Oh, yeah, okay. So wait, have you just let... Ooh, Fool's Embrace. Okay, that... Okay. Got a letter from Emil. He said Argick is super strong and really cool. Thanks. The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering onto it the power of magic. Oh! Are you really referencing Drakengard right now? Of course you are. Now we're inside the Lost Shrine. Oh, you were definitely close to the 9 narrator one. I got the wrong theme entirely there. I don't know why I was thinking of Snow in Summer, but I was. Oh, I have no health. I wasn't paying attention to my health bar until I looked up at my magic gauge and seen that. Ooh. Nobody. Oh no, this definitely is. Seems to be made with the fans of Papa NieR in mind. They didn't forget about Papa NieR, is what we're saying here. I hope it doesn't have some variant of the rhythm game of Doom. That would be really bad. But at the same time, I would love them if they did it. See, now this is the Shadowlord's Castle theme, right? Yeah, it is. This is Shadowlord's Castle. That would have been pretty interesting, Puppet Scar, if they could have done that, yeah. Oh, here we go. Whoa, hello. It's the big one from the thing. That's fine. Okay, you are very strong, my friend. Like, you are not taking any damage from my stuff right now. Okay, I think it's time to pull out the heavies. Give me my heavy sword here. No, I can't block that. Why did I try? Yes. Yeah, this is heavy metal boss theme, this is. Feel like it's time for me to pull a strength drop out in this one. Oh yeah, definitely time to pull out a strength drop. That's the wrong thing. Ow. That's double the wrong thing. And because you hit me with that, you've just stole all my... Oh, I knew I was going to die to that. Damn it. I knew my shield was going to run out in time. Saving. System data saved. Oh, I'm going to come back and do that later because I want to. Because, oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. I think I do need to go level up first before I do more to it. But my God.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
Actually, no, hold on. Hold on. I want to check one more thing. Do we have to start this from the very start? Or are we allowed to continue on from where we are? I really hope this allows us to go on from where we are. Yo, Ryber Cat Girl, how you doing? Good evening. Papa NieR comes in and says, what? Is it still the one door? Damn. Damn. I was hoping that it would be... Oh, I guess we gotta go through it and do it all in a oneer. You know, I kind of want to do the challenge. I'm doing the challenge. I'm sorry, I'm doing the challenge. I gotta try it. I gotta succeed. If a game throws a challenge like this at me, I gotta do it. We gotta do it. We gotta do it, you know? Long time lurker finally saying hi. Tis appreciated. Hello. Right, get rid of our bats. So I might not have to fight everything. Can we just go down the bottom now? Yes, we can. So everybody's saying, yo, Arg, try and skip the fight. Yeah, we can. Good to know. Oh, but welcome. Hopefully you've been enjoying me content. Go away, bats. Oh, I'm gonna run. Bye. Can I hit the bats while they're here? And then charge this up for 3. Yep, nice. Oh, here we go. Going in, going through, up and slam. It's what I do. Slam. Up and down. Oh, gotta charge my magic. Owie, owie. That's my bad. Oh. No, no worries. That is totally understandable. Again, never apologize for not being able to come here. You come here as and when you can, and I'm thankful that you decide to spend your free time hanging out here, you know? Oh, come on, right. Get in there. Nice swings. I was going to say you're not going to die in time, but you did. Nice. So you just have to kill the boss and then away you go. That's nice. All right. Immediately getting pummeled at the start there. Thanks, enemies. Trying to wait for enemies to attack me so I can... Not the behind me one. STG 2021. I mean, I've submitted, but that is entirely up to the games committee and the hosting judges to decide if they want me there. I have applied, but once again, it depends if I make the cut. But I have applied. We just gotta wait and see. Come on, then. To be or not to be, sub to me. Yes. All right, Stabu. You're down. Double Stabu. You're gonna get up in time. No, that's nice. Nice. Got you. Slam down. Stabu. Got you. Up, down. Stabu. Thanks for the resub, Iron Lord. How you doing? Papa NieR came and said hi, and I'm happy about it. Nice. Oh, we got 2 of you down. We got 3 of you down there. Beautiful. Nice counter. Here we go. Yo, Cygnus. All good over here, my friend. I'm really enjoying this extra mode that they added into the game. Oh, here we go. Give me all my counters, please. I will take them. How you doing, Cygnus? Thank you for the raid. Okay, it's going to hit me? Yeah, you did, but you hit me the wrong way. I can charge up my spell while I wait for you to hit me. You're not going to hit me. You suck. Maybe I can hit you then. Yeah, I can. I can break you down. Nice. Oh, no worries. See you later, Tron. I'll catch you later, buddy. Take it out. Oh, this game is amazing. This game is absolutely legendary. I loved it 10 years ago, and I'm loving it now. Yeah, it likes to spawn all the little ones on me right now, which is unfortunately more of an annoyance than anything. The idea is not to die in the big boss when it comes, and find a better way to deal damage to it. Come on, Big Slam. Yeah, if you think you're getting me through that, my shield is powerful. My shield is more powerful. No worries, Rosetta. I'll see you later. Are you down the ground? Yes. Make sure my shield is up. Ah, you missed. Me reattempting Papa NieR again. I'm attempting the challenge fight. Turns out it's a one and done kind of deal. If you die, that's it. Which I genuinely didn't expect, but here we are. All right, next area again. Soldiers of the Soul fight death. They are legion, those who plunge the world into darkness. So actually, what's Foe's Embrace? Very heavy. Oh, it's a hook that goes all the way up to very heavy. So what does, like a hook thing? Ooh. Run around and hook you all, eh? Single hook and they all die. That's nice. But if I can catch you, then it's great. But catching you is harder than you'd like it to be. Gonna get you, gonna hit you. Nope, you ran away. There we go. God, how many of you are coming? Is there really this many of you the first time? We good now? Yeah. Okay. Okay, now to the area where we died last time. The dragon's court brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. Lovely start there, game. Thank you. Nice. Okay, you missed it, but well played. Stabby, stabby, stabby! Up, in, stabby, 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 dead. Alright. And now the big one comes, right? No, we get the little ones with magic first, then we get the big ones. Dead? Yep. There we go. Hopefully I get you with that, which we did. Get the other ones on the way down too. Nope, I didn't. Is the big one time? No, not yet. Okay, here we go. Big one time. This is where I have to be careful. It already attacked. That's great. Oh, that's painful. Try to stay behind it, but it's not really doing anything that allows me to keep behind it. Wonder if I could poison it actually. Hold on. I jump into magic and go into Vice, go to word edit by Dark Blast after I finish sneezing, and go into poison, and then I have a level 10 now, don't I? Thank you. I have a level 9. Can we level 9 poison you? Not if I run out of magic like that, I can't. That's a yes on the poison. That is a yes on the poison. This thing is poisoned. Beautiful. So now its health will drain ever so slowly and it'll die and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, so if I am too close to it, it will hit me from behind. Oh, that got me there. Oh, I'm stuck in there. I need out. Oh, we're alright. I think his poison's worn off a little. No, it's not. Ow, you're supposed to move back there when that happens, buddy. Okay, you're almost gone, which is nice. I'm gonna need a couple of more ticks of the poison, I think. Oh, that could have killed me. Hey, there we go. Nice. Poison tick on that one going through. What do we get now? 3 medicinal herbs. And then another level, I would imagine. What are we getting tomorrow? The black sickness stains the future. They journey to return to soulless vessels. Oh, really? We're getting okay. Hello. I'm going to just use that. Yeah, we are. We are here. The problem we've got right now with these lot, as expected, is they are armored, which is bad. So I actually can't knock them down with this. That's impressive. I won't be able to do that one. You can't, as far as I'm aware, you can't play the main game as Papaneer, no. Ow. Ow. God, these things really do not want to fall down, do they? Can I switch out to Punchy Punchy then? Or Execution, maybe? Yeah, but Execution still works. That's good. I'll take that. Medicinal herbs, keeping us alive. And then we'd run and jump, I guess. And then we fall in sand. They have actually given us a platforming section here. This is hilarious. Okay, this is actually quite amazing. Do I have to fight there? No. But if I don't have to fight, I'm not going to fight. And you can't make me. That little one there, though, tells me I have to fight. Damn it. Still going to run with a shield up, I guess. Unless it's just not attacking, then I'm fine. Yeah, right. Not a chance, mate. That's actually pretty damn cool. And then we get... nope. I said pretty cool, and then that happened. No. Hmm. Ow. I was trying to use the thingy there, but you didn't let me. That's fine. Ow. That didn't last long enough. Thank you. Nice. I'll take that. That's fine. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Obtained the Kabuki outfit. System data saved. You earned 1,000 experience points. You obtained 3 medicinal herbs. Argick just brought a chick home with him. It makes little chips and follows me around. And it's just the cutest thing ever. It's so fluffy, I think I'm gonna die. Oh god, there's another door. Oh, there's another door. Ah! There's more doors that... Oh. Are we really getting, like, the full door thing? No, not that. How do I change things now? Is there a way to do it? So you can get all your quests, you get your items, you get your maps. Oh! Oh, what do you mean there's so many room for much more? Look at that, there's like so many. Slaps head of the room. There's baby, can fit so many doors in it. Oh. Right, I'm not going to go and do them all, because if we did, we'd be here forever. But that's definitely going to be a challenge that we're going to do later on. Interesting to know that you don't get XP for the enemies that you kill in there. You get bonus XP when you finish, which is nice. I wonder where I put those outfits on then, because I just got, like, a Kabuki outfit.
My word.
My word, exactly.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean.
Ooh.
That happens to me whenever I read it.
I love the fact that right there is the ability to do that. Where do I equip stuff? We're level 27. There's how much XP we've got. There's how much it is to the next level. There's their HP and MP, by the way. Attack, defense, magic defense. I really don't have much in the way of magic defense, do I? So much gold, so much gameplay. I really haven't got much gold at all in this one. I'm at 20 hours. Documents. Documents are all these letters. If you want to read them, we can read them later on. We've got fishing records if you want to fish. We've got our tutorials and we've got our weapon source. Maybe it's in our tutorials. Are you going to tell us about how to equip things? Ending B. Menu. You're going to tell me about changing outfits? Magic ability switch switching is just hold options button to instantly... Oh, I can hold the options button to instantly edit my magic and that. Cool. Item and weapon shortcuts tells you what you need to know. Changing weapons, forging weapons, switching stuff. Doesn't tell me about switching outfits. Magic tells you about your magic that you want to do. Attacks tell you about your different attacks that you have, which we already know. And our basic controls are our basic controls. So no, it doesn't have anything in there for us either. I will have to figure out how on earth we're supposed to switch outfits. Yeah, I didn't manage to find switch outfit number 2 yet. Amazing, right? But it is coming up for 10 o'clock, so we are going to save our game here. A very successful playthrough tonight, if I do say so myself. Managing to finish ending A, reveal just a little bit more of the story for you. Then loading in to the epicness that was Kaine's story for the beginnings of ending B. Again, I hope you all enjoyed the readings for that. I can tell you there are going to be more readings as we will be going back to the Forest of Myth. But we've got more to go, and don't worry, we are going again tomorrow. We're probably going to do the exact same again tomorrow. So starting from tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. British summertime till around 3 or 4 o'clock, then another long session tomorrow night as well. We're going to continue going through. We're going to go through ending B. I will return to Sonic speedruns. I promise you they will return, but I would appreciate it if you will indulge me in playing through one of the games I consider in my top 3 ever, because NieR is just phenomenal. But that is it for now. I will catch you all later. Thank you very much for watching. Let's see if anybody's live that I can go and raid right now. Let me see if somebody is around that we can go and raid and we can have fun for. But remember, 11 a.m. tomorrow if you want to continue on. We don't want to miss any of the action that's coming up, because I will tell you now, there are same stuff. Froob's doing NieR 2. Froob's doing NieR 2. Right, we're going to Froob. Where is, like, what is Froob actually doing though in terms of story? I want to know if he's behind, because I don't want any of you being spoiled. Oh yeah, he's behind. He's very much behind. So let's go and raid Froob. So everybody, I will tell you now, do not spoil the game for Froob. If you've been enjoying it here, just enjoy the ride with Froob. We're going to go and raid Froob now, and we're going to go and have fun. A raid message, honestly, whoa, I need a sassy Grimoire Vice thing. A raid message shall be, I am Grimoire Vice, Master of the Arcane, and then just ... I am a Grimoire Vice, Master of the Arcane. That is going to be our raid message. I will put it in chat for you. I will copy you all into the raid as well. I say copy you all into the raid. We're just going to go and raid. I will see you all tomorrow for ending B and more fun. Bye, everybody. I'm excited. Is it obvious? I'm excited.